Thanks. All right, so 3, 2, 1. That's a point. Yes, sir. The boxes? Yesterday they were kind of in my way, so I was like, I printed them without it. Do we like them without the box? No. You like the boxes? Yeah. I kind of like them, but I also don't like them because I often try and write around them. Okay. Tell me how this question is different than the ones we've seen in the past. Yeah, Brody. Has an inequality. Okay. So it tells us to graph. We're going to graph it the same way we graphed before, but the inequality does something different. So where should we start when graphing this? Eli. Which is 5. So I go to 5 and I'm going to make a nice dot there. Okay. And then I should do what? Use the slope. And what does the slope tell me to do? Go down 3 and over 1. 1, 2, 3 and over 1. And if I were to connect these dots and write the word slope on it, it would be going down because it is a negative slope. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler. We're going to go ahead and connect the dots, but I'm going to connect them like this, like a dotted line. And anyone want to guess why it's a dotted line? Eli. Does not have the equal to part, right? So when we have greater than or equal to, that equal, this is a solid line. Okay. When it's just this, it's dotted. And what that means is the dotted line doesn't count, but it's up to the dotted line that does. So I have this dotted line. The last thing I want to do is I have to shade. I'm going to shade because this is saying less than. We want to figure out what values work. Here's what I like to do. I like to test a point. What do you think the easiest point is to test? No. 0. 0, 0. A point is an ordered pair. I'm going to test this point. Okay? Meaning I'm going to plug in 0, 0 into the equation. So 0 is less than -3 times 0 plus 5. True or false? True. If that's true, then that means we shade, and you can just draw lines for shading that direction. Yeah.
So does it, like, I'm assuming it does, but like, if it was facing towards the line, would that change the graph? Would that change the line?
The shading. It would change the shading.
But not the line.
The line would be the same. Okay. Now, some people are going to notice that because it says y is less than, that shades a certain way, but I like the 0, 0 method better because it's a little bit more foolproof. Okay. So let's try the next one. It's actually the same exact equation, except I changed the sign. Starts at 5, goes down 3 and over 1. 1, 2, 3 and over 1. This time, is it a solid or a dotted line? Solid. It is a solid line. So I go ahead and I take my pencil, and that means all those ordered pairs now work. I'm going to use the 0, 0 test. So I'm testing, is this a good point? Is 0, 0 invited to the party? So I go up here and I say 0 is greater than or equal to -3 times 0 plus 5. If I clean that up, it is not. So is 0, 0 invited to the party? No. So the party is over here. That is a bad point. You're either on the right side or you're on the wrong side of the fence. where it's white. And the shaded is the good side. Make sense? So let's try the next one. Y-intercept is -4, so make that dot. Slope is 2/1, go up 2/1. Because I have a ruler, I can just connect those. If I didn't have a ruler, I would suggest you keep going up 2/1 or go the other way, down 2/1. But we have rulers. Today's the only day I'm going to give you rulers. Solid or dotted? Dotted. If you're using pencil, that's probably a good practice because if you make a mistake, it's hard to undot with pen.
Wait, are we supposed to do the dots like where the points are?
No, it's just random.
Okay. Same.
So here's my question. If you look at your picture, does it look dotted? Okay. Can you tell that this is dotted and that this is solid?
Yeah, it looks like.
Okay. So as long as it looks dotted. Then I got to do my 0, 0 test. Is 0, 0 a good point or a bad point? So I go 0 is greater than 2 times 0 minus 4. So if I clean that up, it's saying that 0 is greater than -4. So that is true. That means 0, 0 is on the right side, so we shade that way. This says state 2 solutions that work. Someone give me one solution. 0, 0. We just showed that 0, 0 works. Parker, you got another one? 0, 2 works. Okay, what else works? -4, -2. So anything 0, 0, -4, -2, 0, 2, anything over here in the shaded region is something that if I plug it into here, it's going to work. Okay, what's not going to work? Yeah, Josh? The dotted line and what's that? In the non-shaded area. Now, when we say greater than on these, greater than would be above. So we want to be careful with that language. But the non-shaded area, that's better. Okay. So let's try the next one. What makes this one different? It's in standard form. Do you remember how to graph in standard form, or are we just going to solve it for y? You want to solve for y? Okay. Let's recall. So the way we graphed in standard form is we made a table, and I plugged in 0 for x, and I plugged in 0 for y. It might be, I think so too. I mean, actually, I think it's easier, but if you don't remember how to. If I plug in 0 for x, what does y have to be to make those equal? -5. And if I plug in 0 for y, that goes away. What does x have to be to make that true? -4. So there's my 2 points. I have 0, -5. Did I do that at the right spot? No, 3, 4. Sorry, it should be there. And then -4, 0. There'd be nothing wrong with solving that for y. You get the exact same graph. Solid or dotted. Okay, if I'm using pen, I got to make sure I know what it is beforehand. Plug in 0, 0. Same thing works, right? 20 is less than or equal to, what happens to this when I plug 0 in? That's 0 and that's 0. So the question is 20 less than or equal to 0? No. So this guy is not in the right spot, right? He calls his friends and he says, "Where is everybody?" He's on the wrong side of the fence. Someone give me an answer or a solution to this that'll work. Eli? -6, -6. He's being really careful and making sure that it is absolutely in there. Bryce? -5, -1. So anything in that shaded area works on this inequality. I could plug those in and it would be true. Okay? This was not true, right? This is bad. What are we going to do if the graph goes through 0, 0? Meaning we won't be able to test that point. Pick another point. And if that point's on the right side, then it's good. Okay? We could have picked any point over here. We could have picked that point.
Do we have to choose a point?
You have to know which way to shade.
No, I'm saying, do we have to write down like the point that's an easy?
You mean these ones down here?
Yeah.
So the directions here did not ask us to, but this one right here said state 2 solutions to each inequality. So that's why we did that. Good question. Okay. Next one. Do we remember how to graph this? What's our y-intercept? -2 is our y-intercept. What's our slope? We don't have one. What is that number? It's a horizontal line because our slope is 0. So it would go up 0 and over 1. Is it dotted or a solid line? Dotted line. Okay. Plugging in 0, 0. Is 0 greater than -2? So 0, 0 is in the party. So we shade that way. I don't know why, but I feel like I want to shade at an angle. When I say shade, some people, and I think it's kind of annoying, but in theory, it is like shading because you're saying all of those points. What's that? It's not wrong. I mean, I just feel like it's more work to do that. Graphing this one. What is our y-intercept? Trick question. We don't have one. This is a vertical line through 1. So it's here, in here. If I pick 2 points, dotted or solid? Solid. Check, does 0, 0 work? If I plug in 0, 0 is less than or equal to 1. True or false? True. So that 0, 0 is part of the party. Strawberry lemonade. Not terribly challenging. Okay. Science Club sells T-shirts and keychains to raise money. How many T-shirts and keychains could they sell to meet or exceed their goal? Okay. Yeah.
Would the equation be like reduce to like 10t plus 2k equals 500?
Love it. Except, and we used to write equals 500.
But now it's going to be greater than 500.
Equal or greater than.
Right. So here's the $1 million question. So definitely we want that to be greater than. Is it okay if it is equal?
Yeah,
Will we
That's our goal.
meet? It would meet our, so that would be equal to.
Do you actually like strawberry lemonade?
Huh?
Do you actually like
Who doesn't like strawberry lemonade?
It's okay. I just like the saying, easy peasy strawberry lemonade.
You want strawberry lemonade?
Yeah,
Do you like strawberry lemonade?
it's all
Do you
right.
like strawberry?
I mean, if I had to choose between lemonade and strawberry lemonade, strawberry. I think I actually eat. You know what? Easy peasy raspberry lemonade.
Raspberry.
Actually,
lemonade is so good.
actually, easy peasy raspberry tea.
Raspberry lemonade. All
I'm
right,
just saying.
yeah, you lost me.
Okay. Now this question, it just says how many T-shirts and keychains could they sell to meet or exceed their goal? So they're literally just saying make up something, right? Here's our equation, but they're just saying pick something that's going to work. So if we were to graph it, they're saying pick anything in that shaded area would be good. 2 million.
Okay.
I don't like 2 million. Go ahead. 50 what?
50 for 6 t-shirts and then.
Let's go ahead and do it this way. This might make more sense. So if we sold 50 of these, we could sell 0 keychains.
No. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Or how many keychains could we sell?
A million.
If we sold 0 t-shirts, 250. And this is kind of nice the way we just did